On the surface, it looked like happiness. A beautiful lifestyle influencer, a high-powered CEO fiance, and a celebration in Tanzanian paradise that most people only see on postcards. Ashlee Jenae has spent years building an online presence centered around luxury, travel, and unfiltered opinions. But just as she reached what should have been the happiest milestone of her life, the screen went dark. Days after her 31st birthday, and shortly after a viral engagement video, Ashlee Jenae was found dead. The official narrative being whispered from the resort is one of tragedy and self-inflicted harm. But back home, her inner circle isn't buying it. They aren't just grieving, they are sounding the alarm, claiming that what happened in that hotel room was not a choice, but a crime. To understand the weight of this tragedy, you have to look at the setting. Ashlee and her fiance, Joe McCann, were staying at the Serval Wildlife Resort. This isn't just a hotel, it's an exclusive $950 a night sanctuary where giraffes wander past your window. Joe McCann, the founder and CEO of the investment firm Asymmetric, had spared no expense. This was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. Her 31st birthday, the world watched her through her Instagram stories as Joe got down on one knee. Ashlee was glowing. She was dressed to the nines, surrounded by the breathtaking landscape of Tanzania, saying yes to a man who represented the high society life she had always championed. For a woman who had famously and controversially critiqued her own community and bashed black men on Twitter in favor of a different standard of living, this engagement felt like her ultimate validation. But the celebration was short-lived. Within 48 hours of that happily ever after post, the news broke. Ashlee Jenae was dead. The details coming out of Tanzania are chilling. Reports indicate that Joe McCann has allegedly told those close to the situation that Ashlee took her own life. Specifically, the claim being made is that she hung herself in their luxury suite. It is a definitive heavy accusation, one that implies a secret darkness behind the smiles in her photos. But almost immediately, the people who knew Ashlee best hit the brakes on that story. The skepticism moved from private grief to a public firestorm when Ashlee's best friend took to X, formerly Twitter, with a desperate plea for help. The post went viral instantly. She wrote, "We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance Joe McCann claims she hung herself. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. She needs answers now." This wasn't just a post made in shock, it was a call to arms. Her family and friends are looking at the logistics of the claim, and they are finding holes. They are asking how a woman who was actively planning a wedding, who had just celebrated a milestone birthday, and who was in the middle of a high-profile vacation could suddenly reach such a point of despair. While it's true that mental health struggles are often invisible and can affect anyone regardless of their bank account or engagement status, her family points to her behavior in the final hours. There were no goodbye notes, no distressing calls home, only photos of a woman who seemed to be at the pinnacle of her life. Then there's the location. We're talking about a high-end wildlife resort with staff, security, and a very specific layout. Her friends are demanding to know the timeline. When she was last seen, who was the last person to speak to her besides Joe? And most importantly, what does the Tanzania medical examiner have to say?
Alright, hear me out. And maybe this is just me. Like the littlest thing, I'll just be turned off. Like, but what? It ain't gonna work with me, baby. It ain't gonna work. Nah, like I ain't finna do all that.
In cases like this, where a wealthy Westerner is involved in a death in a foreign country, the investigation can become incredibly complicated. There are questions of jurisdiction, the influence of money, and the speed at which a scene is processed. Ashlee supporters are terrified that the truth will be buried under the rug of a tragic accident to protect the reputation of the resort or those involved. The internet, of course, has its own theories because of Ashlee's polarizing history online, her public disparagement of black men, and her vocal preference for her white fiance. The comment sections are a battlefield. Some see it as a tragic irony, while others see it as a warning. But away from the social media vitriol, there is a family in deep pain, fighting a battle across an ocean to bring their daughter's body home and get a second independent autopsy. They are asking the hard questions. Was there signs of a struggle? Why was the narrative of suicide pushed so quickly before a full investigation could be completed? In the high-stakes world of crypto CEOs and international influencers, things aren't always what they seem. Joe McCann, for his part, has remained largely silent in the public eye since the allegations from Ashlee's friend began to circulate. As a CEO of a major firm, he has the resources for a powerful legal defense, but the court of public opinion is already demanding transparency. What happened at the Serval Wildlife Resort? Was this a woman who reached a silent breaking point in the middle of paradise? Or did she take herself out, a convenient cover for something much more sinister? The mystery of Ashlee Jenae is far from over. Her family isn't looking for condolences, they're looking for the truth. And as the investigation continues, the world is watching to see if the influencer who lived her life in the spotlight will finally get justice in the dark. Stay tuned as we continue to track the updates on this case. This is a developing story, and we bring you the facts as they emerge. And I would love to get you guys' opinions on this story. How do you guys feel about this mystery? A lot of people are actually arguing in the comments on social media about her unaliving. It seems to have opened up a deeper conversation between people of color, and people are kind of making those comparisons where if the roles was reversed, oftentimes people are blamed for actually dating outside their race. But being that, it's this type of situation, it's definitely sparking a real different type of conversation, and I would definitely want to get you guys' opinion on that. How do y'all feel about it in its totality? Does race play any type of factor into this? Or is it just one of those normal things? Y'all head over to my comments, man, and let me know. How do y'all feel about this? And also a lot of the content they dug up from her past. Some are saying she was just 17 to 18 years old when she made those comments. And a lot of people are actually being kind of rough in the comments and saying rest in preference. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. Share these videos, and I'll peep y'all on the next one. Can't get enough? Click on the screen to watch even more fire content. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and you can also catch my videos on my other channels, the Lionel B Show Clips, Lionel B Stories, Lionel B's Garage, the Lionel B Network, and you can stream my audio on the go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other major podcast platforms.